Hi, Corey. My name's Patty Eisler.
Hello, Patty.
Yes, how are you, Corey?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining our meeting. I am one of the committee members that's trying to put these on.
Great. Well, nice to meet you virtually. I noticed that you were automatically recording, so I didn't want to sit there staring at the screen for.
That's fine. Let's see, let's give you a real video. Oh, I covered my camera. The boogeyman won't see me when I don't want him to. Thanks for doing this, Corey. I'm really excited about meeting you and working with you.
Absolutely.
And this is Patty Eisler with us right now. She and I are sort of spearheading this membership forum concept that we just dreamed up about, what, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yes.
I put a poll in for the end of the meeting to find out what topics people want to focus on next month, and then we'll just do that every month, and whichever topic comes up first is what we'll focus on next month. So that'll be fun. Great. I wanted to learn how to use the polls.
There you go. Thank you.
This is a good excuse to learn Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah, by the time that, you know, we can meet in person again, we'll be experts, right?
Well, I do look forward to that time, but this saves on gas.
So I'm located in Olympia, Washington. Patty, where are you at in Oregon?
Lincoln City, Oregon.
Lincoln City. Ah, perfect. Okay.
On the coast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patty and I used to serve on all kinds of different committees over there through the chamber and Rotary. And then I moved to Eugene, so I'm not there anymore.
And are you on the West Eugene side or on the East Springfield
side? Actually, I live in Cottage Grove, which is south of Eugene, about 15, 20 miles. And I belong to the South Town Club of Eugene. There's about 6 clubs in Eugene. So I'm in the southernmost club, although all of the clubs have members from all over Eugene, Springfield. How many clubs are up in your area, Corey?
We have 92 clubs in our district.
Wow.
So our district stretches from, it's west of I-5 mostly. There's some in Pierce County that goes east, but it goes from Woodland, Washington, all the way up to the top of Vancouver Island. So we have all of Vancouver Island in BC, and then the peninsula part of Washington and all the way down. And then the very bottom part of Washington is part of District 5100. So.
Gotcha. I used to work with a company that was based out of Victoria. And so we had a lot of meetings in Victoria and Campbell River and all over Vancouver Island. Beautiful area up there. They always called me the Hershey bar because I was the token American in the whole company.
Yeah, well, usually I'd be up there 2-3 times a year, but no travel right now. So.
No, right. Now, have you been a district governor?
I have not, no.
I didn't see that. Why not?
Well, so last year when I threw my name in the hat, it was down to myself and Dale Roberts, who was the district governor's husband at the time, and the committee chose him over me. So, you know, I get the better job because I get to be an assistant Rotary coordinator and work at the zone level. So, yeah.
No, I'm just teasing you. That job just seems, especially when our district is most of the state of or the bottom 2/3 of the state of Oregon and top of Washington. And so from Lincoln City, where Patty is, to Lakeview, Oregon, which is way in the east, is a bazillion miles. And just the idea of traveling all that ways is like, hi, who's this Hilton person?
Hi, Bob Hilton. I'm with the Rotary Club of Ashland, Lithia Springs.
Okay.
The morning club, we in Ashland have both a morning and a noon club.
What brought you here? What interested you about the forum?
Well, I saw your invitation. You're Chris?
Yes.
Yes, I saw your invitation and happy to participate and get some ideas. I'm going to have to leave in about 20 minutes for another commitment, but
Okay.
sure. I don't know what the experience of the other clubs is, but I suspect it's not dissimilar from ours, and that is that our focus for the time being is on preserving our membership, not expanding it.
Right. Yeah, keep them all from dropping like flies because of engagements and difficulty and missing the face-to-face meetings is a,
Sure. Well, we have a relatively small club. It's about 55 members, and it's a very social club. It's comprised of friends by and large, and we sometimes think of ourselves as family. It tends to be older demographically, as I suspect most Rotary clubs are. The club is demographically older. And the Zoom meetings that we hold are well attended by our older meetings, but less so by our younger meetings. Our younger members are the ones who are, as is true of our community generally, stressed most by this pandemic. They have young children, they have jobs, they have things that are more important to them.
well, we just were joined by, let's see, who's popping in now? Janet Houston.
Yes, from Florence, Oregon.
Oh, from Florence. I love your club.
Pardon me?
I love your club.
Oh, thank you. I do too.
I've only been to it once, but I went over there and really enjoyed it.
Oh, good, good. We missed meeting in person for sure.
Don't we all?
Yes.
Oh, Jerry Finnegan is here from Eugene Airport, the other side of town from me.
Hi.
And Larry Hildebrand, where are you from?
Medford Road.
Oh. And Peggy Carla, if you unmute yourself, you can tell us where you're from.
From Jacksonville Applegate.
Oh, that's right. I think I corresponded with you, right?
Yep, think so. Thanks for hosting this, by the way.
Yeah, well, this is our inaugural voyage. We should have a champagne bottle or something. It's a little early in the morning. But,
I have my Rotary mug.
oh, there you go.
What's in it?
Yeah.
Coffee. It's coffee.
This time of morning. Good morning, Nancy Allen. Where are you from?
I am from Ashland, Oregon.
Oh. So you probably know Bob Hilton.
Well, I have been with Rotary about 11 months or so, so I'm still getting to know everybody. But I am new on the membership. I'm going to take over membership. So I'm really excited about getting involved in that and getting to meet everybody and learn.
Right. Well, we can form a big brain trust is the idea.
Yeah, Nancy, I'm from the morning club in Ashland.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Memi Tenold, is that how you say your name? Unmute yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hey, I'm Mimi Tenold.
Mimi, okay.
You can blame my twin brother for that when we were little. Anyway, I'm from the Roseburg Noon Club,
Okay.
and I'm going to be president next year, so I'm president-elect, and I need to learn all I can about membership.
Yeah, especially this year.
Exactly. It's very challenging.
Patty Scott just joined us. Where are you from, Patty?
Coos Bay North Bend
Oh,
Club,
okay.
membership chair for about the last 5 years.
You're from
Coos Bay,
Bill Giles Club.
yeah, Bill's Club, yeah,
He probably doesn't own it, but I know him from there.
yeah.
Shelley Rotondo, where are you from?
Hi, I'm from the Rotary Club of Bend, and I'm co-chairing our membership committee and on the board this year.
Good deal. Let's see, we've got Bev Walker just joined us.
Hi, I'm from Rogue Gateway Rotary in Grants Pass. And I'm the new membership chair for this year.
Oh, good deal. No challenges for you, right? Jill Tompkins, do you want to unmute yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, Jacksonville, Applegate.
Okay. We've got Peggy and Jill from Jacksonville, Applegate.
Yep, we're eager.
Cool. Terry Homer, where are you from?
I am from the Corvallis Rotary Club. I am the president-elect, and I'm also on the membership committee.
And you're from Corvallis, not Greater Corvallis.
Right, the Corvallis Rotary Club.
Gotcha. When do you guys meet? I don't think I've been there.
We meet on Thursdays at noon.
Oh, okay. That's the same time we meet. That's why.
Oh, okay, yeah. We have some,
Barbara Hendrick, where are you from? Oh, you got to unmute yourself.
Yep. From Upper Rogue in Eagle Point.
Cool. Let's see. We've got Lindy. Must be a president-elect joining us. If you unmute yourself, you can tell us what your club is.
Hello. Yeah, I'm from Philomath, Oregon. Philomath Club.
Lindy, I've met you before.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember you very well. Yeah, you're very funny.
I'm glad you just said funny and not one of my other qualities.
No, that's what I remember you for.
Okay.
How are
Terry
you?
Shepard, where are you from? If you unmute yourself, you can tell us where you're from, Terry.
Hi, it's Terry, and I'm from Rotary of Greater Bend.
Oh, great. Greater Bend.
And I've got a little doggy barking in the background, so I'm going to remute.
Okay.
My little Chihuahua Terrier wants to join the Zoom call.
Well, we had a meeting a couple weeks ago where it was bring your pet to lunch meeting because you could do that on Zoom. John Welch. John Welch is here, and her face looks like a rotary wheel. Where are you from?
It looks like a rotary wheel because I just finished running and I look horrible. The rotary wheel is always beautiful. Fabulous. It's always beautiful. So that's Rogue Gateway Rotary.
Okay. And Jessica Price is from Metro Club. And she's muted, so I can say stuff about her. Oh, darn.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It's nice to have you here. Let's see. I want to start here in a minute, but I'll give a few stragglers. Bill Anderson is just joining us. Oh, Bill, where are you from? Oh, he's still connecting. Marv just joined us, and you're from Redmond, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Now, you were president last year, correct?
Yes, I was. Thank you.
You're sort of the name of that goes behind the Redmond Club. Superman or something like that, right?
Well, I think what it is, it's the people behind me.
Yeah. Such says a good leader. Bill Anderson, if you can, you're unmuted now. Where are you from? It's a surprise. Okay, well, we only have an hour for this meeting. These meetings are going to be the third Tuesday of every month at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can pass the Zoom link on to anyone in your club that's interested in helping with membership or interested in membership in any capacity. and we're going to have a different kind of focus topic on membership. This month is about COVID because COVID's on all of our minds, right? It affects every aspect of membership. In fact, it affects every aspect of club service and all the other work that we do. But I want to have a 1-hour meeting, so it's a drop-in meeting. There's no reservation required. You don't have to RSVP, just come, leave if you need to early. You don't need a hall pass or anything like that. So we're here to trade ideas, and each month I plan to have somebody facilitate our meeting. And this month I asked a rock star to do that. Corey Lepardi is with us from Olympia, Washington. He's the assistant Rotary coordinator for Zone 27. So that's like, how many districts are in the zone, Corey?
Well, we have a zone pair, 26 and 27, and in that pair, we now have 30 districts. We're all of the Western U.S. pretty much.
Pretty much.
And then up into Canada, yeah. So we go down into Texas now, we go all the way to Montana,
Talk about a big brain trust. This brain trust is from District 5110, our district. But I want us to all know people from outside of our district because there's a lot of resources in Rotary. And all I had to do was email Corey and say, hey, would you come to our meeting? And it was like, sure. He's also the past membership chair for District 5020, which is where he's from in Olympia. He's the owner of Party Men Productions, which is a promotional media company that provides video, web design, and marketing services. So that was the commercial for Corey. But from there, I would like Corey just to take it from there. And I'm going to stop us about 5 minutes before 10 or before 11, so I can take a quick poll and ask you to rank or to vote for what our topic should be next month. So each month we'll have a focus. It'll all be membership, it'll be focused, so we can focus on that one topic, trade our challenges, our solutions, and our ideas. Okay.
Whoops.
And did you say this this meeting would be recorded?
Yes, it's going to be recorded, and all I have to do is figure out how to get it on YouTube or something. And that's on my list of things to do. But if you don't get it, a link from me, let me know.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to participate today. And I don't know if I'll be able to participate in the future, but I sure hope I get to. And this is a great group here. I haven't memorized the number of clubs in your district. I want to say it's in the 50s. Is that correct?
I want to say 65 or something.
65. Okay. So I come from a district of 92 clubs. It covers 2 countries, and it's a 10-hour drive plus ferry ride to get from one end of the district to the other. So when they told me that as a new ARC, I would be able to work with District 5100 in Northern Oregon and District 5110 in Southern Oregon and District 5030 in the Seattle area, I said, yay, I don't have to get on a ferry. I can go and meet all these people in person. And as soon as July 1 comes around, I'm gonna, oh wait, I can't go anywhere. And so that's what life's been like for me. And I'm sure that's what life has been like for all of you. But I've been meeting lots of Rotarians all over the world and all over our country via Zoom, and I'm glad to be here today. So because we're talking about the topic of how we move forward in COVID-19, and I don't know if you want to give me the ability to share a screen. I have a presentation for other things. I don't want to give a whole presentation, but I did want to share one slide just to kind of kick things off. So.
Okay, hang on. All right, you should be able to.
Perfect. Okay. So let's do this real quick. And I just like to share this slide. For a lot of us, what we're dealing with right now and being online all the time seems like a new thing. And for a lot of us, maybe it is, because that isn't the way we've done our meetings. That isn't the way we lived our life. However, if you look here, what you're looking at is 2005. Anybody want to guess where that was in 2005? I don't hear anybody, so I'm going to go ahead and go forward and say that was Vatican City in 2005. And that was when they were waiting for the smoke to come up, and we were going to have a new pope in 2005. And if you look real close, you will see that one person in 2005 was on their cell phone. Whether they were texting a friend or shooting video, one of those people was on their cell phone as they waited for a new pope. Well, the world got a second pope real quick, and we weren't necessarily expecting that. But in 2013, it looked a whole lot different when people were experiencing what it was like to bring a new pope into the world. So I like to bring that up because if someone or if an organization so staunched in dogma and routine as Vatican City saw that kind of cultural shift in 8 years, well, Rotary is going to see it in about 8 months. So we're all online now. We're all doing things differently. The rest of the world maybe was already doing that. So I just like to show that, and it's part of a bigger presentation, but this isn't a surprise for those of us that have been figuring out how we're going to present information to people and train. I've actually been training via Zoom for 2.5 years now in doing Rotary presentations. And because of that, our district was able to change pace really quickly. And when things got shut down in April, by mid-May, we put on 30 training sessions online. We did our entire district conference online, and we did what everybody is talking about, pivoting very, very quickly. We had over 800 attendees to our online conference celebration. We've never sold more than about 450 admissions to our event in the past. So we had more people attend our online virtual conference this year just because of the tools that we're currently using today. So that's all I wanted to put out there and say, it may seem like a shock, and by now a lot of you have probably been doing this long enough it doesn't, but the rest of the world outside of Rotary has been making this shift over the last, say, 10 years. So I would like to open it up now to anyone who is got an issue that is COVID related with their club. And I know we're all dealing with how do we retain members and how do we stay effective. But if you have a specific question that this group of amazing membership people might be able to address, I'd love to, take one of those right now.
I would suggest if you have one, raise your hand because we can see that. That way we won't all talk over each other.
And if you know how to digitally raise your hand, which is at the bottom of the participants pane, that makes it even easier when we see that digital hand go up, because the first person to do it, it goes to the top. So I see Peggy Carla. I hope I got your last name right. Already has a question for us. Peggy, what's your question?
Yes. So we have several relatively new members who are young. They're either under 30 or in the mid 30s, and they have young families. And they were seeming to be engaged in the club. And then COVID hit, and all of a sudden our meeting is at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they have young children that they're trying to homeschool. They've got infants, they've got two parents trying to figure out how to make this all work, and they're not engaged anymore. And dues were due, called them and said, yes, we want to continue, but we can't figure out how to get them engaged.
Okay. So who's had a good experience of keeping your younger members engaged? Anybody?
I've looked at that same problem, Peggy, and I've wondered about having either social times or alternative meeting times for them. Maybe evenings better, maybe late afternoon is better. That would be something you might want to pull them on. Bob Hilton's got his hand up. But unmute yourself, Bob.
Sure, thank you. I'm used to this. Thanks, Chris. I think we all have this problem. And look, for these young people, the virus hits them far more seriously than people who are older and are living on, you know, investments or retirement benefits. I think what we're going to do here is identify our members who have joined in the last year or two and try to have small group after work cocktail parties or some kind of social activity so that we can continue to try to bond together. That's the only suggestion we've been able to come up with.
Thanks.
Okay, just with the raise of hands, how many groups your club is already doing, say, a monthly or even weekly online social where you do trivia or bingo or chat over drinks or anything like that? I see Peggy 1, Jill 2, a couple of thumbs up. So a few of you have already doing that. Have you found, and I also see that Dawn and Marv have questions, but has anybody found that they've had better attendance in those socials than they used to in the past? Bev, it looks like you did, than maybe in-person socials. Anybody? Mimi, maybe? Okay, well, I would
Mimi,
say
unmute yourself.
I was just going to say that we have a small club, and most of the members are Zooming. We much prefer to meet in person, of course, and we have a lunch when we meet at lunchtime. But we don't really have many social events to get together as such, because our meeting is our social event. We make it a social event, essentially. And I don't think anybody's really dropped off because of COVID in our membership at the moment. So we're fortunate that way, yeah.
looks like Mimi's got her hand up again.
Thanks. Yes. We're taking advantage of the warmer weather, the nice weather, maybe not this hot, but we will. We get together outdoors once a month. So we have a once a month meeting in the park. We're social distance. Anyone can wear masks if they want.
Okay. So one of the things that I've seen across other districts is that the groups that are having these active social events, they keep them to 45 minutes or an hour. They encourage people to eat meals and drink at the same time, and then they do some sort of game and things like that. Actually are seeing attendance from not just their regular Rotarian members, but spouses, family members, sometimes groups, if there are couples that are already semi-cohabitating or doing their social times together, depending on different areas, you have different rules as to how many people can get together. They'll actually bring friends to participate in these evening events that they may not have brought to a live event, just because, getting somebody to come to a club meeting doesn't sound like fun, but getting somebody to come do something online and social when there isn't a whole lot of other opportunities for them in their life, all of a sudden, Rotary is seeming more appealing. Looks like before we move on to Marv's question, we have something in the chat. Oh, yes. Yep. So, Marv, your question.
I think it's more of a concern. Our club was extremely vibrant, and we've grown quite a bit in the last year. We've even had 2 inductions during our Zoom meetings. But attendance at the Zoom meetings is falling off, and it's a concern with us. We did have a year-end party at a local golf club where we couldn't have a buffet anymore. Everything had to be served. There was no more than 6 people at a table. All the tables were at least six foot apart. And we had every PPE thing that someone could want there for people to use. We had 42 people there, and it was just awesome. But that was it. So the board decided that every board member is going to call every member in our club, and that started Monday. And each board member had 5 people to call. 5 to 6 people, and that would get to the 52 people that we have in our club. And what I'm finding out is, and we have 7 generations in our club, you know, from early 30s to 92. And what we're finding out is that people are missing the physical connection, okay? The speakers has always been a thing, that you always want to have good speakers and that you always want to have good food. Those are the 2 main things. But what we don't look at sometimes is being able to connect with that individual that you kind of look forward to. So what we're trying to do is, we built a pavilion at the American Legion Park a number of years ago, and it's called the Rotary Pavilion. And so we're going to have a barbecue there in about 6 weeks, sometime early September. But we're concerned about attendance at our Zoom meetings, and we have them every year. We also started the 4-Way Flyer, which is a newspaper, and it's a 3 to 4 page newsletter that comes out every other week. And we do 4x4s, anything we can think of interest to keep the club together. And we've been told that that is one of the most extensive newsletters that anyone's ever seen in Rotary, but it's great. And we're happy to share. We're already on volume 13, I think it is. So that's our concern. How do we get more people involved? And with our younger members and their businesses, what's happening is they're on so many Zoom meetings during the week, you get burnt out. And I mean, just today, we've got 2 Rotary Zoom meetings today, and there's another one at 12:30. So I can understand where the younger people are having some difficulties. So that's my only comment.
Yeah. So Shelley, did you have a response to that?
I do. First of all, Marv, can you share that newsletter with us all? Can you make that happen through this Zoom meeting, perhaps? Send it to all of us. That sounds great. So the Rotary Club of Bend, early on when COVID hit, our membership committee did what your group did, Marv. We took 5 or 6 members each and called them all. We checked in on them. We asked if they needed anything. Most people said, I will help anyone that needs someone, but a few of our members needed help grocery shopping and such. And so we had such a positive response to that we're going to repeat that again. Now that we're in our new fiscal year, our new Rotary year, we're going to at least twice in this Rotary year, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to call all members, you know, each membership committee has 5 people, 6 people. And we're going to check in on them, see how they're doing. And we're also going to think about, our membership committee meets this week, we're going to think about a specific question to ask in addition to how are you, probably tied to membership. You know, are you comfortable bringing new members to Zoom meetings, that type of stuff. We haven't formulated it yet, but I highly endorse what you did, Mark, because it worked so well for us.
Maybe one of the questions might be, what do you think, or can you give us a suggestion of how we can keep our closeness together?
Great idea.
All right. If I just send a couple of issues of our newsletter to one person, who would that be? And can that person then distribute? Or I can just, I can just give you my email address in the chat, and then you can copy it down, and then anybody that sends it, okay, I'll just go ahead and copy and do that. And I'll send you 4 or 5 different issues so you can kind of see some of the things that we've done.
Great. So Terry, did you have a response or a new question?
Along the same lines, actually. Our membership committee has been dividing up the membership as well and calling, because we noticed that even from the beginning, we were only getting less than half of our membership attending the Zoom meetings. And we have, I would say we skew towards an older population, but we do have younger working members as well. And my most recent calls, which have just been in the last week, I called a couple of the working women, and what I asked them was, we miss you. We just want to find out how you are. We have a wonderful speaker schedule, and we've reached out to get unusual speakers, and we just wondered if there was anything we could do to encourage you to come. And most of the responses were that from the younger people, the ones that were working, is that their workload has increased so much because of COVID, actually, and they are zoomed out, as Marv indicated. They have so many Zoom meetings. So I asked another question, which was, what if we changed, I asked two other questions. One is, what if we changed the time of the meeting? What if we made it in the evening? Would that make a difference? And a couple of them said yes. So I would just, I think we have to be very flexible in this time, and we may have to change the way we have our meetings in terms of the order of what we do in the meetings, or add games, as Corey said, or do something different. We also are really seriously considering having a few outdoor gatherings. We used to have something called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, where we would just have a group of people go to somebody's house for dinner. It was such a nice thing, especially for new members. And instead of that, what we're thinking about is meeting maybe just 6 people at somebody's house outside, whoever would feel comfortable hosting it on their driveway or in their backyard, with masks and socially distant, and not necessarily having dinner, but just, you know, sharing a beer or whatever it is, and just getting together. A lot of the people do, and I know a lot of you have mentioned this already, they miss the social connection very, very much. I think the older members are very sad about that and feel isolated. And many of them do not feel comfortable with Zoom. They absolutely say, no way, I'm not doing that. I don't know if I have a camera on my computer. I don't care. I'm not doing that. It's not the same. So I've run into that too, which is a little discouraging, but I'm trying to think of other ways to bring them in. Yeah.
Mark, did you have another response?
Yeah, we had that pushback from the older members as well. So what I did is I established a one-on-one Zoom meeting for each one, and I walked it through with them so that they would feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Also, you can get the older members to get their grandkids to help them, which is
right.
a bonding thing for them. And two of our 3 oldest members did that. They went to the grandkids, so that you might want to do that. But the one-on-one is really good if you have somebody in the club that is kind of the host of most of your Zoom meetings.
So just to follow up on that, by a raise of hands, how many of your clubs are still having regular speakers at every Zoom meeting? Pretty much all of you. So what we're finding is that clubs that are keeping kind of this same model as they had in person, and every week it's a speaker, and a lot of times they're the same speakers that you used to have, you know, that might be interesting from a networking standpoint or from a business standpoint. Those aren't being as successful online as they were in person. Because right now, if you're on Zoom and you want to learn from a speaker, well, you've got YouTube and you've got Udemy and Teachable and 100 different other options of direct training. And depending on your job, you may have to sit through 2 or 3 hours of that a week anyway, because maybe you're working from home and they want to make sure that you're doing something, so they make you watch videos online. So a lot of clubs across the districts that are having better success are alternating their meetings so that maybe their program isn't about a speaker every week, but that it's about a topic that's important to the club, whether it's a, hey, this week we're going to discuss how we maybe don't have a way of raising funds anymore, or we, you know, our normal projects that we used to do have been put on hold. What kind of projects do you all want to get involved in now while we have a limited amount of public access or whatever else? And they make topics that are engaging to the membership. And sometimes it's a little bit more of a work party than it is a normal meeting, but they're finding that people are engaging with that because they feel like they aren't being passive. They aren't sitting and just watching, they're actually engaging. The other way that they're engaging these groups during meetings is using the breakout tool in Zoom, or using other, Facebook groups and things like that, and doing small group activities, either around some sort of icebreaker topic, or just around, networking, or sometimes it's membership or mentorship, and putting people in similar business sectors or groups of retired individuals and business individuals in different smaller groups, and letting them take 20 or 30 minutes during the meeting to actually just chat and connect and do more of the social that maybe they would have done 20 minutes before a regular meeting or out in the parking lot afterwards. And giving members those types of opportunities through these tools has been successful in some areas. So I just wanted to share that with the group. Shelley?
So I like those ideas. There are a few of us that are looking at obviously diversity, and so we talked to some people at COCC who work with that a lot. And one of the examples, similar to what you're saying, Corey, which I really liked, was maybe what you do, but do it at the board level, but you could do it at the club level. Share an article, and she gave me a list of articles, but share an article that is thought-provoking, have everybody read it, and then come together and have a conversation. So you might prep something like you're saying, and use the breakout groups as well to support it by sharing something to read or review before you do it.
Absolutely, that's a great idea. It looks like Jessica has a comment, but she can't raise her hand. So Jessica, if you want to unmute.
Oh, it's a bit late now. I was just going to agree with the earlier comment about reaching out to folks individually to make them feel included. So we had just one person in membership, that was me, and I called all the members who had not attended at least 2 meetings on Zoom. And that, for many, it was just they really appreciated the outreach, and they started attending after they heard that we noticed that they were missing. And then we had postponed our new member fireside chat, and it seemed like that was going to be an indefinite postponement. So we ended up doing that via Zoom. So just new members and their mentors, and the breakout rooms were great for that, because we had new members in small groups of 2 or 3. And one of the breakout room topics was, what would you do if you were approved, if you had an idea that could be approved with funding, with a club grant? And folks came away from that with a lot of ideas that then resulted in a couple of extra grant proposals coming in from new members.
That's great. That's great. So other needs or specific challenges that you're dealing with?
I was just going to ask Shelley Redondo, we talked yesterday, and you had a really great opportunity where you did kind of the fireside red badge initiation on Zoom. And I thought it was such a good idea. You should share that with the group.
Oh, thanks, Terry. Hi, Terry. So we did our fireside as our last meeting in the year, one of our last meetings in the year. And because we had 7 new, and at our fireside, the focus of our fireside was Red to Blue Badge Awards. And we had 7 new members that got their blue badges. And so we made it we worked really hard to make it really special for them, because those poor folks weren't in person. So they all had like a graduation mortar with the Rotary symbol on top. We sent them flowers. We sent them cards. And then we had prepped them, because we have a curriculum for new members. And part of that curriculum is to create your own elevator speech, knowing that new members might be talking to other people about Rotary because they're enthusiastic about it. So we wanted them to have an elevator speech for that, and also as their culmination at their fireside to the club. So they did their fireside speech. I mean, they did their elevator speech as well. And at the same time, we recognized the mentors and the sponsors, and we awarded each of them a nice bottle of wine. And so that was our fireside by Zoom, focused on new members, that paid as much attention as we possibly could to these new members.
Great. Anybody else? Terry.
One thing we decided to do to make the meetings a little more interesting too is we started a raffle where it's not the traditional raffle we would normally do, but our membership, our secretary would, as people entered the Zoom room, she'd assign them a number, and then we ask our speaker at the end of their presentation to think of a number between 1 and 25, whatever number it is. And whoever they pick, that person, instead of winning a bottle of wine or something, we give them a gift certificate for dinner at a local restaurant, because we're trying to support the local businesses in Corvallis. And people love that. They, in fact, this last time the speaker said, I'll chip in. I'm going to give you guys a certificate for, you know, whatever it was, a pizza place or something. So I think that can be fun. And that came out of just thinking about, as Corey was alluding to, maybe not a game, but something a little more fun that we hadn't done before.
Yeah, a lot of districts are finding ways to help their local restaurants, their local businesses, their local first responders in ways that maybe they wouldn't have before. And thank you, Terry, for sharing that. Christina, did I see your hand up?
Yeah, we've done a couple of things at our weekly Rotary meetings that have been kind of fun and well received. The first one is that we have a theme every week. And so we let them know, we send them an email the day before, don't forget the Rotary meeting tomorrow, and here's the speaker, and but the theme is going to be, and it might be, wear your Rotary garb, wear something Rotary, or it might be bring your pet to the Rotary meeting, or it might be show us your favorite coffee mug and tell us why it's so good. Last week we had bring a picture of an ancestor, and people were sharing their pictures of their great grandmother's wedding in, you know, Pazuki, Missouri, or wherever it was, and that was really fun. Got really good engagement out of our members from doing that. The other thing that we're doing is I want to spoon feed a little bit of Rotary training into our meetings, and we used to have a Rotary Minute and this and that, and so we came up with Rotary Trivia. So each week we're having one trivia question. You know, what was the first service project that Rotary ever did? Was one from a couple of weeks ago. Or who was Southtown's, our club's first female president is the next one. Shh, don't tell anybody. But we're doing that, and then I'm teaching people to use the chat, because they have to use the chat to answer the question. And whoever gets the right answer first, their name goes into a list of each weekly person that wins, and at the end of the year they're going to get a fabulous prize, which means I have no idea what that's going to be yet. But those are two things that people are learning a little bit about Rotary and are learning a little bit about each other that seem to be working well. And it's easy idea to copy if it works in your environment. You can try them in socials too. You have a theme to give people a reason to get together. I'm going to pick on Patty Eisler, because they do a beach cleanup, which a lot of service projects that we have some, you know, sort of a focus. But Patty, tell them about the bingo aspect of your cleanup and how that worked.
Well, our Rotary Club joined in with some other service clubs in our area, and the Chamber of Commerce, Kiwanis, just the variety, and handed out bingo cards that had lists of different garbage basically on the card. And so if you found that garbage on the beach and cleaned it up, you got to mark the card. And then there were some prizes then for for people who got a bingo. And it was after July 4th. So, you know, there were fireworks on the beach, then just different things like that. And it's been really engaging. The other thing that we've done, and it's if somebody has younger people out there that are trying to engage them a little bit, is our past president, Ron Chandler, has started, we have Rotary flash mobs, we call them. So where we get together and have fun at different restaurants and things in town. But we are doing Rotary cache mobs, where he's giving geocache coordinates for different trivia answers that we get right. And then at the end, if we found them all, then there's a prize for that too. And a lot of people are enjoying that because they can go off on their own and take their selfie and post it on our Facebook page that they found this coordinate. So that's been kind of a fun thing too.
Who does that, Patty? I want to follow up with that.
Ron Chandler.
Okay. Who else that hasn't talked has Janet? I'm just curious for more ideas. Let's, you know, throw some stuff out there.
Okay, I can speak. One of the things that our president is doing at our weekly meetings is she has a big bowl and it has all of our names in it. And each week she picks a name, and what that person does is, I have to look at it, they talk about, it's just like 2 minutes, they talk about their career, what they worked in or what they're working in now, and then what they do for fun. It's just a way to engage people, learn about, you may not know what Mr. Steele does for fun. And so they talk about their career, and they talk about what they do outside of Rotary and outside of their career. And that's really fun. It engages people. We have 60 people attending our Zooms, but we have 110 members. So we're still missing a few. And most of those are the people that are working and they are Zoomed out. But I, as a membership chair, do call individuals that aren't in the meeting and just keeping them informed, checking on them, and then also our newer members, just to try to keep them more engaged. But we haven't done any socials yet, and but we are talking about it. That's it.
So I did want to share for clubs that definitely are still finding their way, and for most clubs in general, I mean, I think one of Rotary's greatest strengths, and we don't always talk about this, is Rotary's ability to adapt and change. Even though it feels like in our meetings we don't do that, if Rotary hadn't adapted and changed, we would still be the organization that was known for putting in public restrooms. And because that was our first project, and if we always just stayed with the first thing we did, well, then we would all do public restrooms, and that's what Rotary would do. And in some ways, you know, Lions is known for just doing glasses and things like that, but Rotary is known for doing so many other things. So I really think that Rotary has an ability to adapt to its community's needs, and every club has different needs. So what I have are 6 areas of focus, and I'm going to put these in the chat right now if I can. Let's see. They're topics to be working on in this transition period where maybe we're not meeting in person yet, but we've got the ability to actually hunker down and get some things done in our club. So the first is, what are your new ideas for when you meet again in person? Because maybe you don't have to meet the exact same way as you used to. A plan to promote Rotary to your community. We all know that as clubs, we can do a better job of promoting Rotary. How will you keep the online elements in meetings? There's definitely some of the elements of this that works, whether it's bringing in outside speakers or allowing engagement for people who are on the road or out of town, especially if you have a community where you have lots of your members that are what they call snowbirds and vacation during parts of the year. How can you make an impact now and in the future? So don't just think about one project one day, but how can your club actually do something sustainable? How will you be more inclusive in your meetings? And I know that, I think it was Shelley that brought up that as the topic. And then what will be your signature as a club? We have all kinds of different clubs and they have lots of different things they do, but each club that's successful has something that's their signature. We have a small club in District 5020 that was struggling. They were down to 8 members and they didn't have an identity. And someone got the group together and said, what can we be known for? And they decided that they were going to be known for making adaptive bicycles and wheelchairs available to people in their community and outlying communities. So not in another country, but in their own community and other communities. And they found organizations that would make these bicycles and wheelchairs, and they found other organizations that would find the people who needed them. And that club has doubled in size in the last 2 years because they are solely focused and they are known in their community as people of action who are getting other people to be mobile again. So just finding that thing that your club is known for, and maybe your club was known for a fundraiser, maybe your club was known for a big public event. Well, it might be time to rethink what your club is going to be known for, because some of those things either A, aren't going to be available for a while, or B, maybe have gone away altogether. So just 6 things to focus on when you're moving forward. There is a way to download the chat. If you just click, there's 3 little dots on the right, bottom right, it says save chat if you wanted to take those questions. And I'm sure that Christine will be able to send those questions out to everybody. So that was all I wanted to make sure I got out there before people started dropping off the call.
That was really good. I love the what are you known for? What's your signature? I think that's a good breakout room question for me to have. I'm president this year, so I'm trying to think of all these things to engage people. And I think I might try that. I like that one. Who hasn't popped up and shared something that they're doing? I would like to hear from everyone.
I'll do it.
Hi, Jill.
Hi there. I just wanted to share one idea that we came up with that I think is going to really bring the club together. Our community service chairperson has decided to split us into 4 different groups. We have about 35 in our group, and split us into 4 groups, and each of those groups on their own are responsible for coming up with their passion, their fundraiser, or their project. And I think it's going to be really great for the club because it's going to bring those people together with a purpose, and they choose their own project. They don't have to, it's something the board votes on. It's just what they want to do. And we've already come up with a couple of great ideas that, quite frankly, we've never promoted before, and I don't know that Rotary ever has. So we're excited about venturing forward with this.
Thank you.
Looks like Dawn has a hand up. Dawn, can you unmute yourself?
One thing that I think our Rotary Club has benefited from is a past president is also the administrator of the hospital. And so pretty much every week we ask him to do a COVID update of what's going on in our county, in our region. And he's been able to coordinate a number of physicians to come on and talk about what they feel should be done and how careful we should be. So when we instituted a survey and asked our Rotarians, we really did find that, yes, everybody agreed that they missed one another. They wanted to be together in real time, but they understood the severity of this pandemic and how we needed to be safe. So I think we've had less reticence about the idea of using Zoom. I think generally we get about 2/3 of our members, but I think having some scientific input has been helpful. Might be something to consider as a program.
Mitch Allen has his hand up.
Yeah, thank you. I've been waiting to see if any things I'm talking about would be mentioned, but I am the membership chair of the E-Club Estate of Jefferson.
Oh.
The Internet Club has been active since 2013. We have 36 members now. We've been as high as 46. Our attendance throughout this COVID our attendance has not changed. It's run from 80 to 85%. With the meeting that we do online, where we have our own web page, it has a similar format as a regular meeting that I used to attend. We would have the president give a talk written down, some announcements, and then a new thing that we started to do is called a podcast, where one of the Rotarians will interview another club member to find out more about that person. I was one of the first guinea pigs. And so I talked about what got my interest in Rotary, and it started back when I was a kid, when both my parents were quite active in the community, and I just continued that, and I've done the same with my kids and grandkids and got them involved in the community. So my story. Then we have programs about talking about the different projects we're involved. We got about 4 or 5 major projects from around the world because our membership is around the world. Well, most of our members are from Oregon, then California, Phoenix, New Mexico, Texas, Mideast, India, Italy. In fact, during Italy, when they were really shut down pretty bad, 2 of our members were shut in their apartment for many, many weeks. And so we kept them supported by talking to them through the internet. And so that helped them. We call our club, you can make up your Rotary anytime, any place. So you can do it on any business trip. You can do it 4 in the morning. You can do it 10 at night. And each week by Thursday morning, our meeting format changes. The president's got a new quarter. We got a new program. We also have things on technical tips that people want more knowledge about using your computer and things like that is available on our site. We also use Facebook as another way of communicating. Then before the COVID, we would get together in person at district assembly, district conference, and then every 5th Thursday of the month, we would get together on the internet and have a social. And so that's how we done it. I think that's pretty much kind of the key things is what we do as Interclub I wanted to talk about, which is the different format than, of course I started Rotary on a regular club that met at a restaurant, but I enjoyed the exposure, especially knowing people around the world. That has been one of the key reasons I even joined Rotary, is to meet people around the world, because I went to the national conference in Portland, Oregon, back when, 90s? And I was so overwhelmed by meeting people and hearing the different languages. And today I'm still hearing those languages because of our membership is around the world. And so we have people who want to use makeup in our club. They have to do is just register. And then when they join in and sign in, then their secretary is emailed that this member of your club attended our club as a makeup. And so we also have us on our site where you can register your community event that you did with another Rotary Club, or that you sponsored something, so you get counted for makeups for doing social events, community projects, and things like that. So that's something that we did as an E-Club, just that maybe you can adapt to your regular land-based clubs. The typical Rotary Club is how you can meet, that's what I'm saying.
Good.
So there's a question in the chat for Mitch. It says, what works best for you with the socials?
With the what, sorry?
With your socials?
Socials?
Yeah, what works best for you?
Well, the one that we do like is when we directly get in, meet each other for coffee and that during the district conference, thing like that. But again, we have our social meeting to go formats that we just talk among ourselves, whatever the agenda wants to be. And we do that, like I said, every 5th Thursday of the month. And so then we meet our club. Board meeting is on Meeting to Go, but our club meeting is weekly changed on our club website. So that's some of the formats that we do. That answer the question?
I see Bev Walker has her hand up.
Hi, I just wanted to, Dawn talked about our survey that we put out. We had an overwhelming amount of people that said they were more comfortable with Zooming, and an overwhelming amount of people that said they miss getting together. So we're doing starting to do a social once a month. And our first social was with breakout groups, and it was a question being asked. So everybody went into their breakout groups with a choice of questions, 3 questions, and they got to do their own thing. And I wasn't at that, but it apparently worked out really, really well. And we only had a few, maybe 12 people, I think, that showed up, but they all enjoyed it. And I think the next one will be a success, or more people.
Well, Corey, I'd like to take this, the reins back over. I see it's 5 minutes till 11. I don't know where the time goes, but thank you for being with us today. I really appreciate that. Good insights and good job. It was really great to hear from everybody. I would like to ask you to use the chat box to give us some evaluations of this meeting. What could we do better? What could we do differently? What do you want to do? What would it take to give you value as far as your members to show up on a monthly basis when you can? I know how everybody is busy. That's question number 1. Now, part of my endeavor is to learn how to use a poll. So I'm going to launch a poll, I think. I'm going to try to launch a poll. Okay. This poll is going to ask you some questions about what do you want to see for next month's topic. And again, you can also use the chat for any other ideas that aren't on here. I just threw some ideas on the wall and I thought I'd give them to you. So whatever one comes up first, we'll use for next month's topic or focus. So now I've launched it. And I'll give you a couple minutes to vote on what you like. Can you see the poll?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'll show you the results after this. This is kind of cool. I get to watch everybody vote. Woo!
Can you vote for more than one?
I don't know. Try it. I have no idea what I'm doing, Marv.
I think
Yes,
you can.
I wrote the book called Flying by the Seat of Your Pants. What I'm doing.
Well, it looks like it's almost balanced between holding engaging meetings and recruiting virtually there.
Yeah, and fun social ideas.
Yeah.
I'll give you has everybody voted? Let's see, I can't see you because the vote's in the middle of it. Does anybody?
Looks like we got 2 more people to vote. But with 90%, you might just want to go ahead and end the poll.
That gives us a pretty good idea. Patty, this is going to be really helpful for us. Share results. So can you see that?
Yep. Yep.
Now we have 12 months in this year. So if you voted for members' financial support and you were, like the only one that did it, we will get to that. We will get to all of these and we will get to any more ideas. We might revisit some of them twice because there might be unfinished business. Marv, you want to wrap up anything? Unmute, buddy.
Okay. Our dues are quarterly. So what we did, because we don't have lunch, because the lunches are included in the dues, we basically postponed the dues for the second quarter so that no one paid anything. However, if anyone wanted to pay anything, it would go into a special account for people that were having some issues financially. We did have 3 people. So that account had well over $1,000 in it. So we've been paying the third quarter dues for that for some of our members, and we'll just keep on doing that. So that's how we help some of our financially in need people.
Anyone else want to share any words of wisdom before I let Corey sign us off? You all out of pearls?
Yeah. So there is one thing in the chat that I think is a great idea. If you were to put your club name and your next to your first name, maybe in the future, that would help people to understand what clubs you were with, and probably would shorten your introduction times as well.
Good idea.
So that you could spend more time getting all the great work done that you guys are doing.
Good idea.
Thank you.
That's what we're here for, is good ideas. Well, you guys, I'm going to sign off because I said this would be an hour-long meeting, and that's what it is. So thank you very much for coming, and we'll hope to see you next month. I'll send out a reminder.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Do you want me to stop the recording for you?
Oh, you're being a good co-host, aren't you? Sure.
I am. All right.
You must have done this